Using pivot tables, we can answer a variety of questions simply by selecting the correct columns and putting them in the correct panels. We can obtain valuable results to create insightful charts. In the previous video, we saw how an attribute can contain missing value or blank. As mentioned in the beginning, ensure you check this before you consider any column. Just keep one thing in mind, there is a limit to the number of columns and rows your pivot table can have according to the available memory. The value and filter panels can report no more than 256 fields. You can find more information on limits in the link given below this video. Beyond these limitations on the size of the dataset, pivot table performs pretty well to give us quick and effective solutions by aggregating large amount of data. Anyway, keep these points in mind prior to using pivot tables for your analysis. Let's get back to our dataset. Now only in column E, we have two pieces of information in the single column. Under invoice date, we have the date of the transaction as well as the time of the transaction. Now, we need to separate these two in order to use them for valuable interpretation and analysis. So, let me extract the date first. So, I will create a new column in J as date and will be using the int function. Now see that using the int function on the cell value E2 gave me a different format for this cell value. So I want it as a date, so I will select format cells and change the format to a date. So it converts the cell value to a date, and now I can double click so that the remaining cells are also filled as dates. Now since this is a function which I have used on column J, I need to select the entire column and fix this, and I select values and source formatting. Okay, so now these values are fixed for me. Now that I have the date for each transaction, I would want to know how was the holiday season sale in December 2010. So I will create a month column, and since I want the name of the month, I will write text, and my cell value is J2, and it is asking for a format. Since I want the abbreviated format of the month, I will write MMM under quotes, and there. See, you got December in abbreviation. As before, I will double click and the entire column gets populated. So we have to create another column for year as well, and use the function equals year J2, and that's it, and that gives me 2010. Now I will double click so that I have the other cells in the column populated as well, and as I told you before, we need to fix these two columns. Be careful about that. I will retain them as values. Now the cell values are fixed. Now I can proceed to answer the question. To answer the question, I will need to create a fresh pivot table. So I click on a cell on the table and create a new pivot table on a new worksheet. So I want the quantity sold daily in the month of December 2010. To understand how the holiday season sale was. So I would need the date under rows, the month under columns, and the quantity under values. Now I need only the December values. So I will filter under column labels so that I get just the December values and here. But see, I have December 2011 values as well. So how can I address this? Year column would help. I would drag the year under filter. And next I can choose only the 2010 values to represent how the December 2010 holiday season sale went. I can easily create a chart for this and select the data, go to charts, and see how on the 14th and the second day of December the holiday season sale was close to maximum, we could say.